Welcome back. I think it's safe to say there are few things in this world, if any, that can change the life of a child in the profound way that adoption can. Maybe the parents, too. Since November is National Adoption Month, we thought this would be the perfect time to dive into this topic and maybe bust a few myths while we're at it. Ed Herman has a real personal connection with the adoption process. He's with the law firm Brown & Crouppen. Ed, how are you?
I'm doing well.
So,
Actually, adoption's a big part, not just of my life, but for a lot of the recognizable faces of Brown and Crouppen. A lot of people don't know that my daughter is adopted, and Terry Crouppen has three biological children and one adopted. Ron Brown, the Brown of Brown and Crouppen, has one biological child and one adopted. And even our chief operating officer, John Cannellan, one biological child and one adopted.
it's a testament to the kind of people that you are, and we don't have to sit here and, lay it on thick for you today, but we do appreciate that you've been a part of this, and it really can change everyone's lives involved. There are certain criteria, of course, as you know, Ed, when it comes to who can adopt and who can't. Let's start with that. Can you break that down for us?
There are a lot of myths surrounding it. Some are true, some aren't. You do have to be of a certain age, typically over the age of 21. But you don't have to be married. That's a common myth that you have to be married. You can be a single parent and be chosen. Um, and so that's very popular. A lot of times people think that you have to be under a certain age. The reality of it is that there's a lot of options out there for adoption, and what's always going to be looked at is what is in the best interest of the child. They're looking for a safe environment where you don't have to be wealthy, but you do have to have an adequate amount of money to provide a lifestyle that's considered healthy and nurturing for a child.
It's the good of the child that is at the center of all of this, which is why this, at least in the United States, this is handled within the court system. But a lot of people will ask the question, do I need an attorney at my side through this process? And when someone asks you that, having been through it, how do you answer that?
I say absolutely you do. Obviously, our firm doesn't handle adoption law, but I can't imagine having gotten through the adoption without an adoption attorney. Every state is different. How the parental rights work in every state is a little different at the beginning. The requirements are different, whether you need usually you always need a home study, but whether or not there's any post-adoption criteria, follow-up visits, what it takes to make it official, how you go about doing the name change and the birth certificate change. I mean, there's a lot that goes into it, and either having a really good agency or an adoption attorney is absolutely essential. But let me say this is the biggest question people ask me. They always say, you have one biological child and you have one adopted child. Does it feel any different as a parent? And I can tell you, it does not feel different at all. You feel the same way about your children. The fact that technically my son has my DNA and my daughter doesn't, honestly, you don't even feel it. Half the time I say, you get that from me. And she really does, because it's much more about the environment.
Ed, thank you so much. We really do appreciate your insight here. If you'd like to get in touch with Brown & Crouppen, you can call them anytime at 314-222-2222 or visit their website at getbc.com. And while you're online, I'm not kidding, you got to check out bctv.com for tons of funny and entertaining and informative videos from Ed and the rest of the gang at Brown & Crouppen.
That was a great conversation and insight.
It's an important topic.
Oh, it absolutely is. Well, guys, my bestie, or so I like to think, Taylor Swift.